Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
And there's no objection.
So, on last episode, we were having a conversation with my friend Lauren Gomes about long distance relationships and why people cheat. And so today we're going to continue that conversation. We're going to continue that conversation in regards to why people cheat and then introduce another topic that I found very interesting. And I believe that you guys will enjoy this conversation. So, without further ado, here's the rest of that conversation with my good friend Lauren Gomes.
um it got so bad, and it was horrible, and I am so mad at myself that I did this. I used to sneak around to try and just hear a voice. I might not, like, all you got to do is say hello. That's all I needed.
Right, right.
Talk to you right now. I just want to hear your voice. Okay, goodbye. That simple.
Oh,
It took all of 5 seconds.
and that's all you needed.
That's all I needed. That is horrible. Who does that?
Hey, that you have lived. You have lived. That's what you needed. You needed that voice.
How sad is that? Because it's just, okay, so person B got that voice, okay?
What was that voice doing to you? Just made you feel good, made you feel tingling?
All on the inside. You hear me? Look, it's just when you have that connection with that person, just that hello is all you need.
Right.
That's it. And just,
I get it. I get it.
ooh. Sorry, I just, ooh, Lord. Hold on, let me get my piece of paper. I had to, oh, jeez. That made me feel a type of way just now. Jesus. No, but.
Two things I mentioned in this chapter I mentioned is there's accidental infidelity, and then there's romantic affair. For example, the first form of adultery being accidental infidelity. This can happen to the more careless person, but at the same time to the person whose values and commitments are tenuous. They lack self-control and respect for both themselves and their spouse. Any situation where they are left alone with the opposite sex is an opportunity for an accident to occur. It was shocking to find out that most cases of infidelity occur with couples who are less than 25 years old. One would have thought every marriage were happy and carefree above anything else. Now, when it comes to romantic affair, this is usually considered the most disruptive affair because it involves feelings. It's a big threat to a marriage. The romantic affair usually occurs at a point of a crisis in a marriage or relationship and is short-lived. It usually burns out quickly, but the damage can last so long.
I hear right there. It is true. I agree with that 100%. I'm actually shocked to see that the age range. I'm truly, truly shocked about that because I think nowadays with people being as carefree, they don't take relationships as serious as they used to
Oh,
back in the,
right. Absolutely. Yeah.
you know? So to me, it's just like, oh, okay, you cheated. Okay. On to the next one. And it's a constant cycle to where now you become emotionless and you don't have that feeling of anything. You don't have any feeling towards the other person that you do meet, because unfortunately in the mind, and this is just my opinion, you've been hurt so much. What's another one?
Mm. Have mercy. Yeah. When you've gone
I
through
went through that.
certain traumas consistently, it's like, okay,
Yeah. Okay, you cheated. Okay, and
just another one. Put another
yeah,
yeah.
another notch. You know, another one.
Oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate, you know.
I get it. I get it.
being in the place that I was years ago, I'm talking about 15 years ago, I was celibate and I was single by choice. And oftentimes I would hear, well, you know, such and such, you know, they want to talk to you and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, I'm good, because of my trauma that I went through. You know, having to be in a relationship for 9.5 years and nothing out of it, that does something to a person. And then you get into another relationship with the intent of marriage, because that was what I wanted.
Right.
And unfortunately, it was use and abuse. Another relationship, use and abuse. And it is just, after a while, it just becomes redundant. Like, oh, you another one. You another one. Like after a while, it was like, you know, I'm done with all that. Let me just be me. Let me be happy with me. And I was doing that for some years until person A decided to change my mind, because person A was the churchgoer that knew me for years and was like, dang, for real? Like you know, I always looked up to you, and I was, you know, started sweet talk me, and I'm starting to fall in love and stuff. Cause
Right.
it's been, you know, it's been a while since I had some sweet talking to, you know? So it's like, Jesus.
I get
And, you know, I've always been attracted to person A, you know, it's just, I never thought of person A as a husband for me.
Mm.
So then once person A started talking husband stuff,
You're like, oh, wait a minute.
I was like, wait, how you doing, person A? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I started to date person A and saw a whole separate side of person A. And I should have left person A a long time ago.
Right.
I should have left it alone, but unfortunately, that's not what happened. So
Yeah.
that's what caused me to cheat on person A,
Yeah.
because I saw a different side of person A that I never would have thought person A would have done.
You know, when I remember the first time I cheated.
You laugh. Look.
So
Look.
when I first cheated, so this was like my very first real relationship. Towards the end of high school, I was a senior, and
Look at Brown. Yeah, man.
you know, young and whatever. But
Of course.
I met the person because I had went to a Martin Luther King event, and they were related to one of my classmates that I was really cool with. And just, you know, exchanging conversation and that led to exchanging contact information. And it was cool. It was fresh. We knew mutual people. It was cool. And it just continued to grow from there. Had some similarities. and we just liked how it was growing. Now, you're never going to have 100% things in common, but the few things that we did not have in common just wasn't that significant to me.
Right.
It turned out to me at that time. So they decided that they wanted to spice up some things, and so they said they want to have a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
I obliged to the threesome, and what I did not expect, and was it my first threesome? And it was my first time having a threesome. What I did not expect was to go into this threesome and go completely crazy about the other person, not the person I'm in a relationship with. And what I noticed was during the act of it, I was like, what is this? Like, this is the person I'm in a relationship with, but why am I drawn to this person? And then I started to notice
emotions. I'm telling you, man.
In the midst of the act, they were more into me as well. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? This seemed like this thing. And what happened is, we ended up having a conversation afterwards. Me and the person we had the threesome with, not the person I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And I was good friends with an older sibling of theirs. But there were some other things that was in common. And then just the way they were just different, they moved different, they talked different. It was just something that was just different in more of a refreshing way, in more of a way that I felt was more parallel to where I was going and how I like to move.
I feel so guilty.
And then the conversations continue. And then I find myself getting off the phone. You remember back in them days when you get a little beep on the other line, calling. And we had just had call ID at my grandma's house. So I know on the line, I will be on the phone with the person I'm in a relationship with.
I'm gonna call you back.
Quick. It would never call back. I would get off the phone quick. Or they would want to hang out, but then this person done want to hang out and they wanted to, and it was more, we just have more things in common. That's
yes.
More significant to me. And it just ended up that I was just like, we started having, we had a few more threesomes, but then it got to the point where, I felt bad. My conscience started speaking to me. And so we just continued our own thing. And, I ended that, but then this ended up being shot to hell. So that didn't work out.
So I'm going to tell you what got me with person B is how he challenged me to think.
Exactly.
And I love that. You got my intellect, because I like to have conversations that makes me think. Like, I consider myself a conversationalist. I can talk about any and everything. It may not make sense, but I can do it. Okay. So I find it very interesting that I can be on a phone call with person B and have the most interesting topics and conversations that would last for hours.
Yes.
That is crazy to me. And the last time I've ever done that, I was in high school. Because remember, back in the day, we on the phone, we ain't talking about nothing. Okay.
For hours. Yeah.
But this one, with person B, he was able to get me to think about decisions, basically cause and effect. If I do this, then this would happen, or this would happen. Or if I go down this road, you're going to make the wrong turn, or you might make the right turn. Like, those are the type of things that I love. And I like the challenge of having a conversation. So I used to take a lot of what person B said and I let it marinate. And I play all kinds of scenarios up in my head, because I'm like, some may write saying, he can't be this, and I always find excuses to not consistently think of person B. And then when I try to have these conversations with person A, it's like swept under the rug. Well, why are you asking me that? That doesn't make sense. Well, what do you think about it? Oh, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah.
Right? Well, what doesn't make sense to you? Maybe we can figure it out. No, it's just, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
those little things, I found myself being more drawn to person B. And it's sad.
It was making you a better you. And it was
Yeah.
those things that you really inspire and want to like grow into.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that things turned out the way they were. I did what I did, and I ain't apologizing for it. I'm glad I did it.
Listen.
He was a willing, an unwilling, willing party. Put it that way, okay?
Right.
I did what I did, okay? No, but just out of respect, I think that we're grown enough to have these conversations now to say what we like and what we don't like.
Absolutely.
And if we're not willing to accept what it is, because nowadays everybody's so quick to throw their little bitch fits. Like, grow the hell up.
Yeah. Men, women,
Grow the hell up. We're grown.
Right.
We are all grown and accept the consequences of what happened.
Exactly. Yeah. This is one thing I want to say about this subject, before we go to the next one. Someone who's like a wonderful friend and supporter, amazing sister I met. It's crazy how you go places and do things in life and God can connect you with people, complete strangers.
Yes.
And they can connect your life so well. I met her on a trip I went on in Puerto Rico. This was what, God, 2014, 2015, up in there. And just been, wonderful friends. And her name is Laura Butler Paul. And she said this about cheating that I included. I'll just read part of her quote. Every affair is different, and so are every woman's reasons for her involvement. A good read is the book by Helen Fisher, Why Him, Why Her, and Why We Love. In my opinion, men are more likely to cite sexual motivations for infidelity and are less likely to fall in love with an extramarital partner. However, women tend to have an emotional connection with their lover and are more likely to have an affair because of loneliness. And we definitely talked about
Yeah, it's lonely, yeah.
Something that has also been a subject or a common thing that's brought up tonight about cheating, long distance relationships. It's something that all humans was made to engage in. We love it. We thrive off of it. People have made multi-million, multi-billion-dollar careers about it. You got some idiots like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby that done went to jail and going to hell about it. I personally feel like if it was more of this, and it was more. I have always said that if there was more of this, I feel like it would be less crime, and that is sex. So the last thing I want to talk about is, and I can't wait to hear what you got to say, but
oh Lord,
what makes sex better? That is the subject I wanted to talk about in my book. So what I did a long time ago, and for a lot of these subjects that people's going to realize, is that I just simply would ask questions on Facebook just to get y'all's opinion. And sometimes y'all, those who knew me, kind of had an idea, but a lot of people had no idea that a lot of this material was really me putting together this book. And so I had asked people on Facebook to give me some things that they felt like made it better. Some of these I was like, interesting. Some of them I just died laughing. So I want to read through some of these. I want to read through these. It was like, how many did I get? It was like 21 things. And I just want to read through them. And I want you to tell me which ones stand out to you. Love. Both want to have it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Weed. Listen, and I agree that listen. I didn't say that, but intimacy,
Okay.
good hygiene, a good a good playlist, the lips.
Which one?
Hallelujah. I'm assuming if I read what I put with it, it's really both of them. But this one gets the attention first. You know what I'm saying? The next was scenery, balcony,
Okay.
park, outdoors, stuff like that. Someone said rain, chemistry, passion, stamina, take time, play a little, have some fun or whatever, fulfillment of fantasies. This one was quite interesting. Adequate genitalia.
Here's where I beg to differ on that. The size don't make the partner. It does not. I know I'm going to get flack from this, but I'm going to say it. It enhances the pleasure that you feel starting from your inside, like the inside of you. If you are in tune with a person before sex, that person could just talk and your whole world melt. So when they come in, when they come with that genitalia, and it may be average for one and big for another.
Yeah.
Honestly, that does not matter.
Right.
I know I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it. Does it help? Absolutely. However, once you, and I like where one person says intimacy. Once you have that intimacy established, then everything else, and I'm speaking from experience, everything else is obsolete. Because now you are connected, like you both are on the same level of each other, knowing the good, the bad, the in, the out. No pun intended. Just knowing each other emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. You are all on that same page. You're basically one with that person. And when you have that connection, what is size? Because they may not be the greatest lover to the whole world, but they are for you.
Right. But also separate for that
could be let me tell you, that sex could be mind blowing.
But also I've heard women say, everybody with a blessed tool don't know how to use it.
No, they don't.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why you can have someone who may not be as big, and you didn't have some of the best sex you've ever had. Every woman got a pocketbook. But every pocketbook ain't got nothing in it.
It ain't the same. Some have very loose change.
Yes. You can have a woman with all these curves and all this nice body, and she don't know what to do with it but later.
Dead as a doorknob. Like, what you doing?
But this other, her butt may not be as big, her breast may not be as big, but she'll fuck stupid.
Toot toot.
Having a lot of something don't mean you're good at using it.
You really don't, and what you consider good for you may not be good for the person that you fucking.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They don't have these people that go crazy over there.
Yeah.
What you've been able to bring to the table is sufficient for them. But now you don't came up with something different. And you can't.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same. You insufficient funds. You can't
So
afford what's over here.
I might be telling on myself, but hey, it is what it is. Look, person B got my mind all kind of blown because not only is the intellectual part of our relationship there, it's on such a different level with him that he is very blessed. Thank you, Jesus. However, at the same time, it's like, if that wasn't there, I would still be blown. It is just
because he has your mind, that mental part, he's already got locked down. Yeah, absolutely. Some other things that were mentioned was foreplay, sexual openness, no limitations, liquor, and the last was communication.
Okay. Foreplay is for the woman. I'm being honest. Oh,
for most of them, yeah.
For both. I'm gonna say that. I gotta be sexual. You got that thing. You got to think about this man. He at work right now.
Listen, and nothing wrong with everybody got a lunch break.
I just might make a keep playing.
Hello. I knew you was gonna grab that phone.
But yes, I think foreplay, because it takes women such a long time to get aroused, you have to foreplay. You have to do that to get them to the point where they are all in it. Because I honestly don't know of any woman that can go from 0 to 100 and all of nothing.
Right. She got to be.
I do not know.
Already.
She has to build herself up, or he has to build himself up to the point where all it takes is for somebody to touch it.
Right.
And then, she nutting everywhere. Like,
hello.
Good for you. Not everybody can do that. Mm-hmm. So I think foreplay is nice, but it ain't for everybody. If I'm just fucking you, I ain't got time to be playing with you.
You don't need all that. Yeah.
No.
But a full-on experience that,
But the experience itself, that would be amazing.
It's a journey.
Give me some
emotions and chemistry involved. It's a journey. Euphoria, ecstasy. It's a whole ride.
Give me some feathers.
I personally like
some candles.
Listen, I always
me up.
Candles.
A little fire ain't hurt nobody.
Yeah. I also like the
don't be listening to me.
Tying them up.
Yeah, bondage. Some people.
I can't be the receiver. I can give that, but I can't let nobody tie me up. The devil's a lie. The devil is a lie.
Look,
But you know what traumatized me with that? I swear to God, I've always had this thing in the back of my mind that you could really pull some shit and don't let me out. Like, remember that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Nia Long wanted to play that prank on him?
Oh,
so they went to that cabin. She real thought she just want to do some freaky shit. So he let her tie him up. Then next thing you know, her sorority sisters.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
She left him. No, baby, you won't do that to me, because baby, I shit up. You wait till I get. You do some shit like that to me, and wait till I get some. I'm gonna get out of here somehow.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
I said my ass done.
I am done. I'm done. That would be fun. I don't know. I just find that very entertaining. I'm just gonna say it. You and your partner have to be on the same page when it comes to that level, because some people do it out of curiosity. Some people may find that like that's the only thing that may get them to that point.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, but yeah, you got to know your partner and test the waters. Ask. That's where communication comes in. What do you like? What do you don't like? You know, can we do things?
Right.
Do we have? Are you? Because I know there are some people, and I hate to say this, but it is what it is. Some people don't even like toys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't like.
It matter. Some people really are against it. They would. Yeah. Yeah. I've met a few people like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's so taboo for a lot of people.
It's very taboo.
There's all kind of thoughts in their mind about it. But if you get the right one.
Yeah, and I think that's where it comes down to, like, you know, are you and your partner willing to explore each other in different ways?
Absolutely.
You know, are you willing to allow that person to control, and I use that in quotation marks, control your urges?
Right.
Says, give me a vibrating panty, Lord Jesus, and give him the remote. Good God, have mercy. Yes.
I love when I first found out about that toy. I thought it was genius. I'm like, wait, what? So this?
I had no idea.
And all they can do, I thought it was a great idea. Funny.
I had no idea. I was very confused because I've never heard of it. Because, you know, unfortunately, the unfortunate side of it, I was very sheltered when it came to sex. I did not know. So once I started having it, that's a whole different world. And then now you're bringing toys into it. What? Huh?
I didn't even know sex toys. I don't even think I knew.
Never knew.
Sex toys exist. I think the only thing I knew people used handcuffs. I did
not know about the toys.
No, me neither.
I had no idea.
I knew about motion lotion, but like I never knew about all these toys.
I don't think I've heard of that one. I've heard of the nipple cream where it gets hot and then cool at the same time. I don't know if that's the same thing.
It's similar because what happens is with motion lotion, you can rub it wherever. And then as soon as wind hits it, it gets really warm. So whether you blow on it or whether it's the fan or the AC, as soon as some wind or air hits it, it just starts to do this sensation thing. Let me tell you what's so funny one time.
Let me stop with my lighter. Let me stop. I'm about to send this guy.
I'll tell you the names off camera. But there is someone we went to church. There's someone that we all know through church back home that they had a little brother. And I remember one time we was chilling at their house, me and her, we was getting ready to go somewhere. I can't remember. And he needed to borrow some lotion. So, like most little brothers or little siblings do, go get your stuff without asking. He goes on her room. Right, he goes on her room to get some lotion. He thought it was regular lotion. So all of a sudden, minutes later, you hear him, you know, hollering, just making this weird noise. It's like he on fire. Like he don't know what's going on. Like his skin is burning. And so we like, what the hell is going on? Like, what the hell? So me and her was like, you know, so he was like, you know, of course she go check on him. We go check on her. She was like, the lotion, why is your lotion making me burn it? Like, what the hell? What's wrong with this lotion? I think I'm allergic.
I'm legit crying right now.
So she was like, boy, ain't no goddamn lotion that got you Bernie, you use my lotion all the time. No, you had some new lotion. She was like, new lotion? What lotion you use? She follows him in her room.
Oh my God.
And he shows her where he went and got this lotion, quote unquote. Baby, when he saw that bottle.
I think I know who you're talking about.
The dad is the elder. He's still an elder.
Yep.
All over, she used to sing in the choir with us.
No comment.
He's a DJ now.
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Her laugh.
Let me take a little sip.
We laughed at him so bad. Oh, we laughed at him so bad. And that's what happens. When you go tell some shit you ain't got no business.
That's why you leave people's stuff alone. You hear me?
But you know, one time, this is so off topic. I remember one time, I was with my grandmother. But there was a little small period I was living with my mom while she was going to FAMU, right? I was in like preschool at this time. And I remember going to my mom's purse. And I wanted some candy. And I didn't get a lot of candy, a lot of sweets growing up because I was hyperactive.
Right.
And so I remember just having this stomach ache, like this really bad stomach ache one day. And, she asked me, what's your age, this, that, and the third, regular, questions. And I told her the candy in your purse. And she's like, I got no damn candy in my purse. Like, what candy? What you talking about? Girl, why was my mama birth control pills?
I was waiting. Are you kidding me?
I was like, it got like a weird taste to it. I said, but
no.
It was my mama goddamn birth control pill. Not only do she now got to go back to the doctor's office to get
my God.
before she gets knocked the hell up. But now she got worried about my ass who was in pain. I eat a whole bunch of candy. This fucking birth control pills.
What?
I was in preschool. I sure did.
Yo, you got me on that one. You got me, man. No way. What?
Birth control
Bruh,
pills.
nah.
Yeah.
You had no idea.
No, I'm in preschool.
They in like their own little.
Girl, I thought it was candy. I mean, yeah, the container was different. The container was different, but I'm thinking it's candy.
I am done. I am too through. I am through. I'm done.
No one had even had that conversation with about sex with me yet. I'm
Yeah.
like 5, 6 years old. I don't know anything about. I'm thinking.
How old were you when you, or have you ever had a conversation about sex? At what age did you learn about it?
So my mom at the time was with my sister's father. And he had his half-ass conversation with me about sex. I guess it was supposed to be the talk, but I hated the man so much that most of what he said went in one and out the other. But I would say 9 years old was the first time that I'd had any kind of conversation about it. To be honest, most of what I learned from sex came from watching porn, or came from hearing and having conversation with my older relatives. I always hung around older people, your siblings, and my friends and the main parents around you, they were older than me, 3-4 years older than me, and so that's where most of my knowledge came from.
So for me, I was 17.
Oh wow.
17. That was my first high school boyfriend or whatever. They knew about sex. He was a Scorpio.
Oh,
I just leave that alone right there. So, of course, you hear about it, but you don't know.
Right.
And I did go to my parents because I needed to know. I mean, y'all married and y'all got 4 kids, so obviously I know y'all fucking. Like,
Right.
Whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That conversation did not go as I thought it would have because it was very sheltered. When two people are in love, you know how that go.
Right.
Whatever.
Also, growing up in our religion, we know those talks are taboo anyways in our religion, or most religions.
So, me and my little inquisitive behind decided, let me go on the internet. So that was a mistake because I started to get blocked because remember back then they used to block everything. So now I went to my high school boyfriend. And instead of this dude talking to me about it, he said, let me show you. So he showed me.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
What was he showing you? Like
He
actual?
showed me.
Yes.
He showed me.
I mean,
And like, back in school, like they talk about sex education and like my parents did give me this book of becoming a teenager back in the day.
Okay.
So I had the book. So I knew about parts, there's the male genitalia and the female genitalia and how it works, but they didn't tell me how it works. So he showed me how it works. And I was so shocked. Like the experience was enlightening. I'm just going to say that because now I became more curious.
Right.
I became more curious. And it's like, well, if it makes you feel this way, well, what if you do this? And then what if you do that? And, that's how I became sexually active at 17 out of curiosity because I didn't know. I had no idea. And I really I'm going to say despise because I don't know what else is on my mind right now. That's what comes to mind. I do not like the fact that when it comes to religion, especially ours, it's so reserved and quiet. Like you got to teach these young people so they don't end up to where you were. Because you can't do that.
All they tell us is don't do it for marriage. They don't tell you nothing else. Because at the end of the day, we know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. So if we were to properly educate on what to expect if you do go down that road,
it would not lead down to that curiosity.
Right. That's why religion period, a lot of them end up after the first few times, they either become extremely promiscuous or not.
Yes.
That's why you get pop-up pregnant so quick.
Well, I know. I ain't gonna talk about them that already had abortions and all that stuff.
In the church, your daughter has always had this squeaky clean image, and now she done popped up and got pregnant. So now you're gonna go send her to a whole nother county to have an abortion for the rest of the time.
But I digress. I don't know nothing about that because remember, I'm in my own little world, so I don't know nothing.
I know who she is.
I know who they are.
Right. Well, I only knew about one
little rope.
But look, some of my favorite things on this list that I like that makes sex better when I think of my experiences, if I were to say my top 5, they would be Rain, Playlist, Take Your Time, Weed.
I'm surprised they put weed. Like,
what the person said about weed is it's a wonderful aphrodisiac herb. It enhances sensation, and when you climax, all the walls come tumbling down. Does
alcohol, but no.
And I've had sexual encounters with weed, with alcohol, and I've had it with both. I will say, when it gets to that point of ejaculation, or when you're reaching that climax, it is different when it's a alcohol infused sex versus a weed one. I think I like the alcohol one more for me. I would say because weed can kind of, I'm damn near sleeping.
Exactly. That's what I'm like.
Hungry. So I enjoy it, but and then the other one I would have to say is scenery. Scenery.
I agree with scenery. Like, okay.
Because sex in the bed to me is boring. I
Boring.
like it everywhere but a bed.
Thank you. Okay.
It could be the floor for all I did.
Anybody that knows Kama Sutra.
Yes, Jesus.
Okay. I am a believer in Kama Sutra. I mean, if all this can handle it, trust me, you hear me?
Absolutely.
So when it comes to missionary, to me, that's dry. Like, that's the norm.
Right.
But you twist this leg all kind of ways.
Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody.
Look, just without getting too graphic, a person can experience euphoria when the other person is willing to learn and or teach.
I love that. I love that too.
It's just amazing.
That's how I lost my virginity.
Really?
Someone wanting to teach me, and they made it quite. It was alcohol. It was alcohol involved. I ain't got no shame to say my age. We had went back home to Alabama, where my grandma was from. It was for Thanksgiving. I was there for like a week, and I'm experiencing this. This was an amazing week. I lost my virginity the same week for the first time. I also tried alcohol and weed for the first time. And
wow.
Yeah, it was a night where we were just hanging out with some of my cousin's friends and just meeting people. And his girl had a friend, and I of course I stuck her like a sore thumb because I'm not from the country,
Yeah.
They think everybody from Florida, from the city, so
of course
I'm just different. And they wanted to teach, and it was an amazing experience. I thoroughly loved it. They took charge and wanted to teach.
Mm-hmm. That's how I learned. He taught me, and then I became curious, and I started learning.
Right.
What I like, what I don't like. So, it kind of works both ways.
Student became an expert. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I have no complaints. So I just leave it at that.
Hello, practice made perfect. I love it. I really appreciate these conversations. I think that, it's important to have these transparent conversations. It's conversation that, we all enjoy, probably don't have enough. And I think just with everything going on in the world these past few years, I think, especially with COVID, I think that people just enjoy something that they can relate to, something that's just new and that can gravitate to people. It's just so much, whether it's the election, whether it's the police brutality, whether it's just all the stuff we see on the news. It's great when we can just enlighten and entertain people.
Yeah, it's refreshing just to be able to have these type of conversations and be open, not having to be around other people the way how we used to,
Right.
Having to do Zoom calls,
Mm-hmm.
just being able to be relatable.
It
speaks volumes. And that's why I do want to thank you for opening this platform that you have and just allowing us to have a chat.
Yeah.
Our conversation. Our conversations, you feel me?
Hello. Oh, yeah. Listen.
But, just keeping it just as genuine as possible and being able to be open. I cannot tell you how I thank you for allowing me to do that, because I have not been able to do that
in a long time.
In some months.
Right. I appreciate that. And
months. So I really do thank you. Everything that you're doing, I'm proud of you. You hear me? I am happy. You are my brother. Okay? Like, this is real.
Absolutely. And I want I'm glad to get back to some of my joys and passions. We
Yes.
clearly know things I've been through, and I may touch on it in some future episodes, but it's I just like to be there for people. I like to make people laugh. I like to entertain people. I like to make people feel
Yes.
good. And so with these conversations, I just really want to have something for everybody. I want people to be able to take something from every episode. Some people may enjoy more than others, but it's just
Yeah.
conversation, being free, and just connecting. And I definitely,
Totally worth it.
yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So
I might be spilling a little bit too much tea, but guess what?
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. You don't like it, keep it moving. Too bad.
But that's the best way to be. Why restrict ourselves? Why try to stress ourselves, trying to be something for somebody
Exactly.
else? Be who the hell we are, authentically, 100% unapologetically.
There you go. And I bow my head to
There
you,
you
sir.
go. Well, that's it for the zone today. We are officially shutting it down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, remember this: do not let fear dictate where your story ends. Holla.